G'day guys, Matty Extreme Auto, carrying and camping with you again on another massive off-grid setup. Oh mates, made me a ham and cheese toasty for lunch. Thank you, good man. I'll get into that in a second. Reheat it in the microwave. Big off-grid setup, this one on a Roadstar. Beautiful off-grid, off-road van this is now. And the previous setup, really basic, okay? So this van came factory with a couple of Redarc panels on the roof, so they were the 160 polys. So this had two of them on this side, on the left-hand side. So I had two 160 polys on the roof. It had two AGM batteries that were down there, which I'll show you guys shortly. And it's got the factory BM Pro systems. That's the HA series, which, you know, is just your solar charging, mains, and aux-in, which is your Anderson plug. So all your three charge methods went through the original factory BM Pro system in this. Well, as you guys know, with all of my off-grid setups, I don't like using those inputs. Mainly because I exceed them by a lot. And if I were to push the amount of energy and power through those terminals, the solar, aux-in, and the mains is the mains, it wouldn't handle it. And that's why we turned that into a glorified fuse box, which is what it is. So the only thing now that is powering up the factory BM Pro system is 560 amp hours of lithium batteries. That's it. Black and red, straight to it. So you still control your lights, your pump, or pumps if you've got two, all of your 12 volt circuits that are controlled up on your BM Pro touchscreen, you still control, guys. Your master switch is always on, that's or off, that is always working. This is a factory overlay system, as this is an example. Even the Odyssey Link, which is all your tanks, that still works and nothing has been replaced. This is an overlay system, which I'm about to get into. So, no more solar, no more auxiliary charging, or no more mains charging is done by the factory system. It is now taken care of by this mammoth system right here, which we fitted. So, all of the Victron items here, bar the DC charger. So let's get into it. Multiplus 12 3120. What that is, that's a 12 volt inverter charger, 3000 VA, running on all of the factory outlets. So at the touch of a touch button, you'll hear the air conditioner go beep, you'll hear the microwave go beep, you're on power on the side of the road, anywhere. No generators, guys. This setup allows you to do that. So the Multiplus 12 3120 amp is a charger as well. So when these guys do plug in a mains power and they're at a station stay or at a caravan park, this will warp speed charge this 560 amp hours of lithium. It'll pump in up to 120 amps. That's huge, big power. So that's how the inverter charger system works. And it's a factory overlay system. So it's very, very easily bypassed, and it's also very well integrated into the van's factory system. There's no modifications to anything. Everything is factory. All of your GPOs that work will work from the inverter just at the touch of a button. No unplugging things and plugging this in. No, it's simple. Press the button, you've got power. That's it. Zap your food, make your coffee, make a toasty, whatever. It's so simple with these setups. Now let's move into the charging side of things for off-grid. So both vehicle and solar has been modified on a maximum level here. So old mate already had a 50 amp Redarc DC charger, which he purchased a while back. We've rewired it and reinstalled it. They are our go-to for DC charging from the vehicle. Why? Well, I don't know if you've seen the size of them. They're no bigger than that. They're tiny. And they're IP rated and they're 50 amps. It's a no-brainer for me. I can fit them. It's a 50 amp charger from the vehicle. So that'll pump in 750 odd watts, so 50 amps from the vehicle straight into this battery system. Happy to do that. Now old mate's already got the Anderson plug on the side, so he can run solar into that as well. So that's an unregulated solar panel. You know, 600 odd watts of solar going into that. Beautiful. Not that you'd need it with the amount of solar, which I'm about to get into on this. So vehicle charging, got the Redarc 50 amp DC charger here. Very fast replenishment. Solar on this, guys. I managed to squeeze a lot. Like, so I quoted old mate on 4 200s. Now that was a what if maybe. But I got on the roof and the original two 160s that were along here were kind of spread out. So what we've done is we've measured it up, we've compressed those two, so I was able to fit a 200 here, a 200 here, a 200 at the rear, and then a dog leg, another 200. So I've got 800 watts here. So 4 200 watt exotronic panels here. Now they're on a 2S 2P setup, so that's 2 in series, 2 in parallel. So that keeps the voltage at about 40, 45 voltage open circuit there. And that's fed into the Victron 150 amp smart solar controller. Beautiful there. Now the extra system that we've put on this, we've managed to squeeze another 300 watts in the form of the 100 watt exotronic square panels. So there's 3 up the front, right? And they're all in a series string. There is no shading issues up the front of this whatsoever. The only shading issue on this would be the air conditioner on the rear panel, which is why we put those 2 panels on their own string. So we've got 1100 watts of solar. Now, I'm in the beautiful Barossa Valley, and I don't know if you can hear that. It's raining again. I allow 3 days to do these off-grid setups. Day 1, rain. Couldn't get the solar. Couldn't even touch the solar. Day 2, yesterday, same deal. Rain all day. There was a cheeky break. I was able to do a bit of wiring. Day 3 today, I'm ready to do solar. I've done everything else pretty much, and so we had a cheeky break. I really wouldn't call it a break. Let's just call it wasn't raining for about half an hour, and it came in waves. So I had it's taken all day just to get the solar on the roof, guys. I prepped it. It would rain. I'd get down. Oh, mate, he wiped the whole roof down, the poor bugger. Dry, and then it rained. So we just had to do a panel at a time. And luckily enough, it dried. You know, I cleaned the surface. We alcohol wipe the surface. We heat the surface up to bring out any oils, and then Sikaflex down, and she's on. That's it. As long as the surface isn't wet, you've got a dry, tacky surface for your aluminium brackets to adhere to, you won't have a problem. So 1100 watts installed in the rain. It's nuts. So you're dealing with all the rain, you're trying to get the work done. The rain stops for a fair amount of time, and it did. We had the rain stop for nearly an hour, so I was able to test this, and I'll tack it on to the end of this video, guys, to show you what we got out of it. Very happy. Well over 1,000 watts in these conditions is super desirable. Now I've been running this Truma Aventa off-grid now since we arrived this morning, just to smash some energy out of it. I had the compressor fridge going all night. I arrived at 90% this morning. I got this down to 80%. These are super efficient from batteries. So the Truma Aventa is about 650 to 750 watts when it's running. It's at temperature in here at the moment, so it's cycled right back. And we're running it off the batteries. I've used bugger all energy, guys. So we've got the 130 and the 150 taking care of the solar. They are networked together, so they charge in unison as one system. Got the smartshunt down here, which is talking to them, so there's a unison charge there. So these are the PowerPool Scouts. You guys have seen me use heaps of these. I love them. They have a 250 amp continuous discharge per battery. So one battery has the potential to run this inverter. So if one battery turns off for whatever reason, the whole system can run from one battery. It's a redundancy thing. Having both together, that's a continual discharge of 500. This inverter will never require that amount of energy. So 560 amp hours of custom-made PowerPool Scout lithium batteries here. That's over 6.5 kilowatt hours if you want to work it out like that. I'll do some other rundowns with it. I've put the temperature sensor up here. We've got a thermo-controlled fan. So this temperature sensor that is above this area where the solar controllers are. It's hard to see, but there's a big vent here. And we've got a brushless fan in place because this is completely closed off. Like this lid shuts down. There's a little bit of venting at the rear here. So we've had to just vent it the best we can. So we've done that, and we can draw and convect some air through it. So that's going to turn on at 30 degrees and shut down at maybe 28. I'll get into that with the video so you guys can see how we do that. Everything is all down here. Now, the relocation of the existing circuits that were down there, old mate said, look, if you got time, can you relocate, I think he had 5 or 6 extra circuits down there to one area. That way he doesn't have to lift up that area at all to get to anything. And we've done it. There are 10 MIDI fuses down here, guys, 10. Like an absolute train of them, as you can see, all lined up. So you got step, diesel heat. Oh, mate's got an electric step, so he's got a diesel heater. Got the radio memory one. Fridge, compressor fridge in this, guys. You got your master 12 volt, which is your BM Pro. You've got the Y-tie and ESC, so this has Dexter electronic stability control, which runs from these batteries. Solar 50, solar 30, DC charger, and a front Anderson plug. So there's an Anderson plug on the front of this for an electric jack or an air compressor if you wants to run that, and that can all be drawn on this. Every little bit of energy that goes in and out of this system is all monitored on the Touch 70 with this one. So we've gone for the larger Touch 70. It's just a little bit easier to see. The same format as the Touch 50, but just bigger. I'll go through some settings on it with you guys and show you how it's all laid out. I'll do some zoom ups of this because it was quite tricky to get in, especially the relocation of those circuits to over here. Very thick cabling going, all the double up on the 50, you know, hydraulically crimped lugs, and it's a very tedious and slow job, but the end result is it just works and it's great. So we love doing these setups, guys, and happy to keep doing them. Got lots and lots planned. Some big stuff coming, so stay tuned for more videos. Enjoy that one. So this is the MIDI fuse setup for the relocation, old mate. So we've got 35 running into a lug, hard to see, and then we split off with 6 into this setup. So we divide it into loads and charges generally. If we can, we do it. So this is obviously in and out power, so that's why we've put the big high current stuff on their own. So your front Anderson plug, your DC charger, your solar 30 and your solar 50, they run into their own side, as well as over here we've got your loads. Right, so they all run into the other side of it, and that's like some 35mm cable that runs straight off into the back off a lug, which is hard to see back there. So there's the servo and shunt fuses, and you can see back here we've gone, you can see that thermo fan, there we go. So there's a little ball race fan. These are very quiet. When they're running, you pretty much don't even know they're running. You won't hear them run, you'll hear the air they move, so very quiet. There's the 5100, there's the 3100. There's the Redarc 50 amp DC to DC charger with a side Anderson plug, so he can run you know, portable solar into the system to complement the roof. Just remember, guys, this will run while these are running. So if the sun's right out and I'm pumping in over 1,000 watts, that means 1,000 watts will come in plus the 750 of this. So that's 80 amps plus 50 coming in. That's crazy. That is so much energy. That is more than enough to keep up this air conditioner and charge the batteries at a very, very fast rate. There we go. So there's the Serbo. That runs up into the screen. So there's the CerboGX that is on the VRM at the moment. There's the PowerPool lithium batteries, which you guys see me do heaps of. You can see the wiring. Why is it like this? Well, that's because they're at equal lengths. And, you know, you got to strap them up out of the way. So all of these positives that run to these master fuses for the inverter, which there's 2 of them, all right, they are all at identical lengths, which is why you have to do this sometimes. I could have let that go and just let that drop, but no, we might as well strap it up so it's not rubbing on anything. And the reason for the conduit on this is because this is a very, very big off-road van, so these guys are going to go right bush, so just having a little bit of extra protection will go a long way. It's probably not required, but hey, it had the roll out, so why not? So there's the 2 big master fuses here for the inverter. So they run straight across through there. It's about 1 meter away, and here's the inverter charger right here. So like I said, you guys see my other videos, we take the hat off of these when we install them in an area where we can, just to convect air through, and we've got some venting here, and hard to see, but right at the top there, that's all vented now. That was non-existent, and old mate's even got a side vent there which you can see light through, because he runs a Caravan, guys, so this has dust suppression, so there'll be air forced out of that hole so no dust can come in here. And hard to see, but that's where all these auto resetting breakers were, down here. So they've all been relocated, but take note again, no solar, no aux in, no mains. That was the mains. We just run the cable up, that was mains, and just tuck it behind there, because you'll never ever plug that in ever again. So the mains charging, disabled. Solar, disabled. Aux in, disabled. But take note, these are still here because that goes to the battery. Fused, of course, over in the other area. Hope that's a good little rundown for you guys. If you've got any more questions, hit us up. Happy to chat with you on it. Let's bring it up to the actual system. It's raining once again. So just to go through what is happening right now, and we are plugged into mains too, so I'll flick this off of inverter and we'll put it on mains so you can see what shows up here. So we've got, right now we're using power. I can feel that air conditioner running on cold, flat out 16. It's very humid here. It has kicked in, which you can see what it draws. So it generally sits between this and 750 or thereabouts. So that is efficient. So obviously if this number was greater than this, we would be charging. I've got the fridge on, I've got some lights on. I've actually got a lot of lights on. Got the roof lights on and all that. So shore power would come in here. We are inverting. We are using 620 watts because that's the air conditioner running. We're only receiving 230 watts, but you can see where the energy is going. So it's coming out of the battery, and the rate that it's coming out of the battery is 570. So right now we are pulling 40 odd amps from this battery bank. So if we go to this, we click menu, and we go into battery, we can get a little bit more information here. So if I was to run this air conditioner right now at the current rate, which some would come out, I can get 10 hours out of it. That's pretty amazing. That's very cool. All right, we go back. Oops, I actually click it. And you can dive into more information if you start clicking things. So let's go to the Solar 30. Now, you get all the information here. So let's have a look at today's history, because I know it hit some big numbers. Look at that number. Now, that'd be peak power, so it'd probably be a cloud flash or something. But I did see over 1,000 watts from this consistently before, so it must be pretty bloody close. So 345 watts, guys, from those 3 100-watt exotronic panels. Happy. I'll go back out of that. If you want to dive into the inverter charger, you can see what's happening here. So right now we're on inverter only. But what we'll do now is I'll show you the temperature. So, take note of the battery area temperature, 22 degrees. Can you see that? Excellent. So, that little fan that you guys saw earlier is controlled by a couple of relays. So there's 2 relays on board the Cerbo. You can use them to start generators and run many things, but I'm going to show you their options. So I've got function relay 1, see up the top? It's temperature. Function for relay 2 is manual, that's not used. We're using relay 1. Now, as soon as you set this to temperature, see, that's what it gives you. And you go to temperature control rules. Now this will light up as soon as you select temperature, so you click that. Now, I've set it to come on at 30 and then turn off at 26. So let's go into that to show you. So, relay activation on temperature. Yes, please. So you just check that box. Relay 1, because you can choose what relay to control. Activation value, so that's your turn on value. That'll close the relay. Now, that was 22 degrees, so I'm going to drop this. I heard the click. I don't know if you guys heard that. So I know that the fan's running. Now, deactivation, you drop it to something like, say, 22 or whatever you want to control. But either way, that's how that works. So it's very cool. And once you've set it, you just click check and then go back and you're set up. We'll change that to 30 again. No, we'll go to 28, bugger it. It's off now, I heard the click again. So if we were to go to menu, see, it's only 22. Very cool little setup. Right, let's get mains going. So I'm already on. What we'll do is we'll shut the air conditioner down. There we go. Now we'll go to, whoops, we'll go to charger only, right? There you'll see AC input, that top left, kick in. Okay, so you see your AC input come up now. There's the beep from the microwave. So charger only is essentially back to factory. So when you plug in mains power, the charger activates in the Victron. Charger only is what it is. So if power was to disappear, if you were to pull that plug, all of your power would turn off. So that's what's happening right now. You can see we're charging at a rate of 422 from the shore. The rest would be solar. So that's combined charging, guys. Now, why is this so low? Well, I'll show you. I've set a current limit for 2 amps. So that means it is only pulling 2 amps from that 15 amp outlet. Now this is a 15 amp outlet old mate has told me inside his shed, so I could potentially accept 15. Now watch this. Want to see some big charge rates? Watch this. How good's that? That's fast charging now. But that's the beautiful thing about it. You can throttle it back. If old mate's got a poor power supply, throttle it back to 5 amps. It just means it's only going to pull 5 from the side input. It's very clever. See it drop? Now charge rate would have dropped as well. See? But it's still good charge. I mean, usually when you're on mains, guys, you're on there for like a long period. So this is good for generators. That's what it's for. You can throttle it right back to suit your generator, so you don't have to worry about your generator bogging out and clipping out. Cool bananas. Now we'll go to on. So on is the auto mode. So on means the inverter charger will stay on when you're off grid, so you're able to run all your lights and stuff. And the second you plug power in, it'll automatically sense power and change over. Charger only is the mode we're in now, which you have to have power on, your mains plugged in for you to get power. Inverter only, there's the click. So that'll disappear. There won't be any more input. Inverter only is inverter only. You are using batteries only, and you can see that. So even though Shore's plugged in, you've selected inverter only. It's only inverting it. It's disregarding this completely. All right, so that's how that works. And then off is like a storage mode. Service, you're working on it, you leave it in the off position. Right, time for some rundown. We'll put that in there. We'll go back to the screen. We will put it on inverter only because I just want to run from batteries. All right, so now just wait for the inverter to come on. Beautiful. You heard the beep. It's usually pretty quick. It tends to, have a slight delay, but it's monitoring what's going on. So now, all I do is go, we'll go 30 seconds, I think. Oop. Do I have to do something, do I? I don't know how to use this one. Clock. Tell me you got to set a time, do you? Oh, there you go. Wow. Cool. So microwave is running, guys, off grid, all from batteries. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Air conditioner running. I'll put that back in there. Jesus. What a beast. That's full fan. Probably won't even hear it kick in with the fan that loud. Wow. That's like a jet engine. But you know it's working. Keeping the van cold too. Try and get this thing to kick in. Heat 26. There it is, quickly catch it. Flicked around real quick. Hope you guys heard that. So that's on heat, Truma Aventa, heat 26. She's ramping up. See what she's pulling. I'll let it run for a bit. These guys have got a diesel heater which they will be running off grid, but just showing you guys that running the rooftop AC, what it draws. In reverse cycle in the heat mode. There we go, beautiful. That's it. Look at that, all solar there, guys. Absolutely sensational, free camping. This is more than enough to keep up with that Truma Aventa air conditioner. So charging the batteries and running the air conditioner, this is where we are at. Fully off grid, anywhere. No generators, guys, all from the sun. Happy days right there.